Hey, what's going on, YouTubers and YouTubettes? Jex Russell back again, coming at you from our new home. My wife Rebecca and I, we just moved into this new apartment. As I mentioned, I think in my latest video I mentioned how we were moving soon. Well, it finally happened on Sunday, May 1st. We moved here. We're May 5th right now, in case you're wondering. And yeah, it's so far so good. And I'm sure a lot of you collectors are like this too. One of the first things I unpacked was my music, my records. I have all my CDs in the other room too, packed on a shelf. Those were the first boxes I went to. But yeah, so far so good. The place is still a little cluttered. We're not fully settled in. It's only been a couple days, like I mentioned. But no, we're really happy here. We like it here. So yeah, the purpose of this video is I haven't unpacked my books. That's what I was planning on doing next. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take out the camera, I'm going to start rolling, and I'm going to show off my books, because I've been wanting to show off my music-related books for a while now. That's a video I've been wanting to do, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So I thought, what better time than now, since I'll be unpacking them, I could show them off as I'm unpacking. So let's do this. I have a feeling a lot of you guys are going to get a kick out of these, some of them at least. Alright, box number one. I'm going in. Alright. We should have probably pre-opened these, but whatever. Alright. So, box number one. Where to start? This one I actually showed off in a video a few months ago. This is the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Really cool book. I haven't really read into it yet. I haven't had it that long, but it has some great photographs. Let me just show you these. Yeah, and it was $2 at my local chapters, so I was obviously not gonna pass up on this. Very cool. Oh, jeez. An oral visual history by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I am a huge Chili Peppers fan. I have been for about a decade now. I can't talk. Yeah, I love the Chili Peppers, and I try to get everything Chili Peppers related as I can, and this one just has a bunch of photographs looking a little like the Beatles right there. Yeah, I love stuff like this. Most of my book collection, I forgot to mention this, but I'm not a big reader by any means. You know, I'm just reading for fun. What's that about? No, I'm kidding, but it's not one of my hobbies, but something I do love is just biographies, you know, pretty much music-related biographies, and just trivia books. Trivia is about music, movies, anything pop culture related. I love that stuff. So most of my book collection, that's what it consists of. It's either biographies or just trivia. This is going to be tough. They keep falling all over the place. Another cool one, the official Metallica Illustrated Chronicle, So What? The Good, the Mad, and the Ugly. Actually, I found this at Value Village for $7.99, so I definitely wasn't going to leave that behind. What this is, So What was the name of their fan club magazine, if I'm not mistaken, and this is kind of a best of the best from the articles from that magazine, and it's really interesting. It's what I love about these books is that, you know, you don't have to read them from beginning to end. You can just kind of open it anywhere and just read. So very cool. This is, sadly, it's not the era of Metallica that I like. This is, I think, late 90s, early 2000s maybe. But it's still cool. It's still Metallica, right? And there's a cool tribute to Cliff Burton at the beginning, which I thought was very nice. So yeah, this was another Value Village purchase, again for $7.99. This is Kurt Cobain, The Journals. So just a lot of like songs and poems that he wrote, and I like how it's. This is the hardcover edition, and I like how it's made to look like a notebook. You know, nice touch. I haven't read all that much in here. It's just that it's, you know, anyone who knows Kurt Cobain, it's very dark, very depressing, and morbid. It's and anyone who knows me, you know, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, you know, very energetic, and it's just very hard to read. But you know, I do like Kurt Cobain. I do like his music, so I wasn't gonna leave this behind for $7.99. But yeah, it's just very, very dark. This is another one I've talked about before, The Art of Metal. Very cool. I won't talk too much about it since I already have in the past. But yeah, just a bunch of cool posters and album covers. And I hope you guys are seeing this Okay, but yeah, an essential for any heavy metal fan. Oh, this one here. Anyone who watches Scott Waters' channel, he recently showed off a package that I sent him, and I actually sent him this Black Sabbath, The Vault coffee table book. Yeah, when I found this, I thought it was so cool that I bought myself a copy and I bought Scott a copy because I had a feeling he would get a kick out of it. And actually, that reminds me, today is, I believe today is Bill Ward's birthday. So happy birthday, Mr. Ward. Funnily enough, he doesn't appear on the cover here. Let's find a good picture of Bill. Here, I always like this one, Mr. Ward right there. I like that picture because you don't see him smiling very often. So yeah. So like I said, I bought Scott a copy. I bought myself a copy because I thought it was so cool. And at the time, all I had to send Scott was an Asia single. I'm like, well, I can't send him just a 45. So when I found this book, I'm like, there you go. So yeah. If you guys can find a copy of this, it is amazing. It comes with a lot of goodies. So yeah, Black Sabbath. Another cool one, Led Zeppelin. This is kind of like a biography, just like a photo biography. You know, just a bunch of cool pictures of the band, a discography, stuff like that. And I found this for $1 at a bookstore back home in Bathurst, New Brunswick. So yeah, its cover shows a little water damage, but for $1 I wasn't gonna pass it up. The next two are pretty cool. Got I Am Ozzy, the Ozzy Osbourne autobiography. This book is amazing. I recommend it to anyone who's an Ozzy fan or even just a music fan. This book is awesome, and it is crazy. Like, as you can imagine, this guy has been through it all. Like, he's done every drug imaginable, and yeah, it's a very, very entertaining book. And obviously, as I'm reading it, I can't help but hear his voice saying the story in my head, which makes it that much better. It's a great read. I Am Ozzy. And in the same vein, trust me, I'm Dr. Ozzy. Another good one. This is different though. It's not an autobiography. What this one is, it's this was a chronicle or an article. I forget what magazine or paper, but there was a newspaper that had this column. That's the word I was looking for. A column where you can send in your letters and ask Ozzy Osbourne like medical questions, and he would answer them. And some of his answers are just downright hilarious. Yeah, I highly recommend this one. It is so funny, and what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and it's another book that you can just you don't have to read it from beginning to end. You can just kind of open it and, you know, read one of the columns. So yeah, trust me, I'm Dr. Ozzy. Highly recommended by Dr. Jex. Ah? All right. Anvil, the story of Anvil. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Anvil. I have a video where I tell the story how I saw them in concert. They were great, they were awesome, they were super nice, and this is their book. It is not quite like the movie of the same name, Anvil, the story of Anvil, documentary. Absolutely love that movie. I couldn't recommend it enough. This is, it's different though. It's from a whole other perspective. Like the movie kind of depicts, you know, how they haven't been able, you know, to gain popularity, and they're working on a new album, and, you know, and you kind of go through each band member. But this one here, it really goes through their whole history, how they met, you know, how they became Anvil, you know, the stuff they had to go through in the early days, and just going on and just sticking to their guns. It's really good. I mean, you see a lot of that in the movie too, but this is just a lot more, you know, they put the emphasis on it a lot more in here. And yeah, another great read. I highly recommend it. What else we have in here? A couple of VHS tapes. Anthony Kiedis, sorry, Scar Tissue. Anthony Kiedis, of course, the front man from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mentioned I am a huge Chili Peppers fan. I really got into the Peppers in about 2006 when Stadium Arcadium came out, and I just fell in love with that album and started getting all of their other albums, and I was an instant fan. And that same year, my parents got me this for my birthday, and I've read it a few times since. I think I read it like 3 times. It's just, I don't know what it is about this book, but I love it. It's just, it gets me every time. It's so good. It's such a good storyteller and a lot of good stories, and yeah, Scar Tissue. An excellent read. Oh, got some cool little ones here. So these are the 100 best-selling albums of the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. This is a cool little series here. Picked these up at HMV years ago, and it's just so interesting. So yeah, it just says in the title, it's the best-selling albums of those decades, and it's cool. Every page is like album cover, and then there's just a small story and history on the album and trivia. It's really great. I love stuff like this. Like I said, I love trivia, and yeah, these are great. You look on each decade. 80s. I think the 80s one was the first one I picked up at HMV, and then I wanted to go pick up the other ones, but they stopped selling them for a while, and then months later they had the rest of the series, so I picked them all up. The 80s, and now the 90s. 90s one is my least favorite though, because a lot of the albums on here, like like Garth Brooks, Kenny G, it's not really stuff I listen to. I'm like, there was a lot better albums than that in the 90s. Like, what is this? So yeah, best-selling albums. What else is that? I'm gonna try to stick it to the music-related stuff. Oh, this is a cool one. This is a brick. Punk 365. Just, again, going through various punk bands. I think it's a 365 pages, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, different band for every page. It's awkward to hold up. But yeah, I discovered a lot of bands through this book. I'm a huge punk fan. I have been since I was a teenager. So a lot of bands I never heard of. A lot of bands I had heard of, like the Dickies. They're awesome. So yeah, this is a cool book. What else do we have in here? The Screamers, Helen Killer, The Dictators, Venus and the Razor Blades, Rodney Bingenheimer and Debbie Harry. Oh yeah, nice. The Nuns, like just so many bands in here. So yeah, Punk 365. Only the Good Die Young. This is really cool. Again, got a good deal on this one over at Chapters. It's just going through musicians that died at a young age. The infamous 27 Club. They're included in here. But yeah, this is just cool. Again, it's kind of a depressing read, but informative nonetheless. The last one is, oh, no, sorry, there's two left in this box. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. This is the Jimi Hendrix biography by David Henderson. I actually never read this one. I just picked it up at a used bookstore, found it for a good price. So I wasn't going to pass it up. There's a few cool pictures here. The young Jimi Hendrix right there. Military man. Yeah. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Gonna have to read that eventually. Okay, now is the last one in this box. This SMF Captain Howdy is gonna get a kick out of this, I think. This is not The Beatles, but it's Les Beatles. Yeah, yes, this is a French book. I do speak French. So yeah, I found this at a local library was having a book sale years ago, like over a decade, and I saw this and I'm like, this is super cool. Had a lot of great photos in here. Again, this is just awkward to hold up. I hope you guys can see that okay. But yeah, great photos, great history. Yeah, I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I probably no more than $1. Yeah. So yeah. The Cap has been on a Beatles kick lately, so I thought you'd appreciate this, buddy. A French Beatles book. All right. Now I'm not sure if I have. Whoa! You good? I'm good. Okay. I'm not sure if I have anything else left in this box, but let's see. Whew. Again, I apologize for not opening these ahead of time, but whatever. We're having fun, right? We're hanging out. How you been? You good? Yeah? Me too. Alright. And these are mostly movie-related books. I think that was it for my music-related books. Yeah. I got a bunch of stuff in here like, oops, movie mistakes that made the cut, and the sequel, oops, they did it again, more movie mistakes that made the cut. This just focuses on like continuity and just movie mistakes, and it tells you exactly at what point in the movie to look for them. It's really cool. I'm a geek when it comes to stuff like that. I love, movies, filmmakings. I love stuff like that. What's that from? This is just a collection of movie quotes. 101 cult movies. Yeah, this is really great. But okay, this is all the movie-related books, so I won't go into maybe for a separate video, but I wanted to focus mostly on the music-related stuff. So I hope you guys got a kick out of these, listening to me talk. Again, I just love talking about music-related stuff with you guys. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And until next time, peace out. Later.